I am the most powerful of mages. No, I am. I will beat you when you... I helvete. It looks like Army Painter sent me their Game Master in Search of Adventure prototype box. Let's look at what this new kind of starter set has locked inside its cardboard walls. Hi good folks, my name is Leif and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel called Devs and Dice. My dear friends over at the Army Painter sent me their new and quite frankly a little bit revolutionary terrain starter set called Game Master: The Search for Adventure. Now, I don't know about you, but I am super excited to find out what is inside the box. So what do you say? Let's crack this box open, shall we? First off, looking at this box, it's quite hefty and there's a definite feel of weight to it. I do like this front cover quite a lot, I have to say. Okay. Here, I just have to say one thing. I love the cover art. Specifically that it reminds me of the sort of 70s, 80s, and 90s era of, you know, fantasy art. Alright, so back to the unboxing. The first thing we see is a guide on how to build dungeons and caverns. And I have to say, I do have a little bit of experience in looking into Army Painter's different guides. This one actually tells you a little bit briefly the entire sort of story behind it. It has those nice sort of codes that you can scan and get to tutorials. And it actually goes through quite a lot of the different sort of aspects of building terrain and how they came to these quite wonderful looking, you know, terrain pieces. So I have to say, this one I'm actually gonna save. And look at that. There is, I think his name is Boo in the middle. So I don't know, it feels like this is his brainchild and I really admire that. That's cool. Further on, we get a utility knife, a plastic palette, and some dry brushes and what looks to be a little bit more detailed brush. And I like those brushes, they were quite soft, so I'm actually looking forward to using them. Now here is a handheld foam cutter that looks like it's run by two batteries of a type C. And yeah, it also actually comes with some replacement wire, the thing in the middle there, which heats up. And I think it came with 4 replacement wires, so that's kind of nice of them. In terms of basing and such, we get something called scenery sand, which was quite heavy also. So looking through this, you can see that it has nice sort of mixture between small, very small grain and something that would scale-wise be, I guess, you know, a rock that is sort of the size of a 28mm humanoid's fist. We also get these two paints, Dungeon Base and Cavern Base, and these come in 50ml dropper bottles, which will, I'm guessing, be used quite a lot. Then we have this, which is a Dungeon Subterrane Primer, and I think it's a black primer that you can actually use on XPS Foam. Here are some no-name tufts, which looked quite nice. I liked the dual tone of them, the two colors. Here's some XPS Foam glue, which I think you can use. Yeah, exactly. It does not corrode any XPS foam. It works well with that. And the different paints we get is something called Brink Black, Dungeon Highlights, Subterrane Wash, Grotto Slime, Dungeon Effects, Cavern Highlights, and finally some Cavern Effects. Now I really like how these paints were named. It seems like we have a base, we have a first highlight, and I'm guessing like a final highlight. You also get a piece of sandpaper, which seems to be 120 grit. And also you get a ruler, a metal ruler, a thin metal ruler, which is about 12 inches or 30 centimeters long. Now this, I'm a little bit happy about this because my only steel ruler is like 50 centimeters long and I'm working in tight spaces, so that's going to come to use. Now in terms of the XPS foam, you get 6 sheets, which looks to be about 20 times 30 centimeters, and I think it's 11 millimeters thick. And then you have 2 sheets, which are essentially twice that size, so I'm guessing around 40 times 60. And they're essentially twice the size, as you can see. Now let's have a look at the official information from Army Painter. As you can see, it will contain XPS foam board, sandpaper, steel ruler, the hot wire foam cutter, the scenery knife, that nice primer which is water-based and won't melt your foam, whole bunch of paints, a palette and a pack of 3 brushes, some tufts, some scenery sand and some sculpting glue. And this will be at the price of $99.99 is what they're counting on. And February 20th is the release date.
I have to say, honestly, that I am very impressed with Army Painter. This kind of starter set for making terrain is the first one I've seen on the market. And I think, nay, I know that there are plenty of people out there that want to get into crafting terrain to enhance their, tabletop gaming, experiences. But as with a lot of, different things, as a newcomer, it can be quite scary and quite overwhelming. So in that sense, I think that this starter set is an excellent choice for anyone who wants to get into, making your own terrain. And I understand, of course, the price tag might scare some people off. But when you think about what you actually get inside the box, for me at least, it feels like it's a pretty good deal. That being said, let's say that you are a crafter already. Then I'm not sure if I can, recommend you to buy this set or not buy this set. But what I do know is that I think Army Painter plans to sort of release all, different items separately so that you could buy them individually. For instance, if you want that handheld foam cutter, I think later down the track you will be able to buy that. And the same with that XPS friendly primer, which on a different note, I'm pretty sure that they will actually have different colors down the road as well. All of this is public information, and I found it, looking at their YouTube channel or, checking out their webpage. So to put it short, if you're looking to get into any sort of terrain making, I think this is, it's an excellent choice. I want to say that it's the best choice on the market, but honestly, the other choice would be to actually, dig into all of the specifics, get all of the specific tools and so on and so forth. This is a very good way to have, a set amount of money invested. Dip your toes in, see if you like it. If you don't, then if you do, then you can, hunt for different things after that. And if you're already into terrain crafting, then this is a sort of case-by-case scenario, so I can't really speak about that. But what I can tell you is that I am very impressed with this box, and I am so excited to, looking forward to get my hands on these tools and start crafting something. Which, of course, I will make in a video down the road. Before I end this video, I just want to give a shout out to Army Painter. Thank you very much for sending this box to me. As always, if you like these videos, then please consider hitting that like button, sharing them with friends that might find them interesting, or, subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. Alright folks, with that, I want to wish you a good day, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video, where the characters are much more realistically depicted and, I don't know, less sort of modern bubblegum fantasy. You have to remember that I am an old man that grew up with, sword and sorcery as my main inspiration for fantasy. But alas, I digress.